Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to introduce you to a new workflow that's capable of transforming an image, a product image, into an advertisement that's ready to be sent out for sponsorship. This is a system where I send it an image and it uses a tool called Nono-Banana to create a professional image from your product photo. Next, it will call on a system that is ready to transform the image into a video. After that, I will create an original piece of music with Suno for this advertisement. And finally, we'll use a very powerful tool to publish this promotional video of your product across all social media platforms. Here is a product image, quite simply, a coffee mug. Imagine that I want to advertise this coffee mug, and here the system actually created a video for me. Starting from that image, I'll show you the result right away. So what tools did I use to turn the image into a video? You should know that you can use any product image here. As a result, it can understand the product and simply create a video designed to convert and be shared on social media. The tools used today, I used 4 tools. I'll start with the Upload Post tool. It's an official tool on n8n. It's a tool that allows me to share either a photo or a video on social media. That's where I actually use this node. It's a node you can easily find here on n8n. You just have to type Upload Post here and that's it. So I find the node. It's an official node. So I used it here to post a photo on Instagram and the Twitter network. And also I used it here to share the video on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. This is where I want to promote my video. So with this tool, you can simply come here, access this website, and you have the option to create a free account. This free account allows me to, actually share on 9 social networks: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Pinterest, and Reddit. With the free account, it gives me up to 10 shares per month for free, so it's very interesting. So there's no need to create a paid account or use a credit card. You just need to create a free account and you'll find everything you need. The setup is very simple. You just need to add the node, so there's no advanced configuration or anything like that to do. The second tool that I use is Nono-Banana. So I use Nono-Banana because it's a tool that can simply transform my image into a professional looking one based on a prompt. That's what interests me. We're also going to use Seedance. Seedance allows you to transform an image. As you'll see here, it makes the image move. So that's very interesting depending on a specific context. And my goal is to add original music. You know, when it comes to anything sponsored, you shouldn't use music that belongs to someone else. So here I use Suno, which allows me to create custom music. So in this video, first I'm going to give you the workflow for free so you can download it. And on top of that, I'll show you how to import this workflow, how to install the different nodes used in this workflow. And of course, at the end, I'll give you my documentation where you'll find all the prompts, all the codes that I used in this system, so you can have a complete workflow. Thank you. So now let's start by downloading our workflow. To get this workflow, it's simple. I'll come here and click to download it. So it's a JSON file, as you'll see here, that will be available to anyone who's interested. To download this entire JSON file, which will give you access to everything ready to use, you just need to go to this address, n8n.drferris.vip. So with this link, you'll come here and click on download. So the template is right there. You'll have the entire workflow ready to be downloaded. So now we simply need to import the workflow into the n8n software or tool. There are 2 ways to do this. Either we go to the official n8n website and there we can sign up. But you should know that today, if you create an account on n8n, you simply have to pay between $20 and $50 per month for an n8n server. But be careful here. The servers, it's true that they're a bit expensive, but they're also limited in the number of workflows you can run. This means that if you get a server on n8n, you can't activate more than 5 workflows at the same time. And I find that to be very, very few, because if you are freelancers or even a company and you have workflows, well, you want to test workflows. Having just 5 workflows is too expensive, and having 20 workflows at $50 per month is also too expensive. So what can we do? Well, we can use our own server, which is the hosting server. You'll see that this hosting server, to access it, you can either come here and enter therostinger.fr/n8n directly. And be careful, here we're going to get a 15% discount. So this is a code that I was able to negotiate with Hostinger. It's Dr. Fieras 15. If we use this coupon later, it will actually give us a 15% discount. But be careful, you have to access it directly through this link, hostinger.fr/n8n direct. So thanks to this link, we'll get a special discount. So I'm simply going to click on choose my plan, and here it will actually give me a plan that costs $6.89 per month. This server has 2 processors, which is more than enough for anyone who wants to test about 10 or even 20 workflows simultaneously. So it's currently the best value for money server on the market for businesses or for people who want to resell workflows. You can also go up to 4 processors. So this one is the most powerful. It has 20 GB of space, capable of hosting more than 3,000 or 4,000 workflows. And this really is the most powerful server. I recommend this for businesses. Okay, so I'm staying focused on this server, which I recommend for freelancers and for businesses. If I click on select, I will actually have this interface. So you come here to add promo code, I click here. And there you will simply type Dr. Fieras 15. Like this, you click on apply. And here I have a special discount, which is 15% off. So I'm paying $5.99 per month. For a server, I'm choosing a 2-year subscription here to get the best price. And here, if I scroll down a bit, I can select this n8n server. Now, there's a very interesting little trick. It's that here there's another server called n8n plus 100. So this one is the same as that one, but it gives you access to 100 workflows. Installed on your server for free, these are the 100 most used workflows in the world by businesses, so you should take advantage of it since it's free. So all you have to do is click and then click on continue. And there you go. We've selected the server we're interested in. We click on continue to actually confirm the order for this server. You need to place the order and confirm it. It's simple. I'll go back to my n8n server. You'll have the same interface as me. You're going to click on create workflow, and this is where I'm actually going to import my workflow. So when I click on import workflow, you'll click here and then you'll click on import from file. This option will allow you to import the file you downloaded from my website. So you understand that you come here and you'll download the workflow here. Afterwards, you've created your server, and at the end, we need to import it. So now I'm going to import it with you. Here is actually the file I downloaded. Just a quick note, always try to have the file with the extension JSON, because you will download it compressed as a .zip file, so you need to unzip it to get the JSON version. JSON. You just need to select my workflow, click on open, and there you go. You have the entire workflow ready to be deployed. Of course, you need to connect your own Google account, your own social network that you want to share with, and your own page on Google Sheets. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to run and execute this entire workflow step by step. We'll do it block by block to understand how the information flows. Once you understand how the information circulates, you'll be able to update this workflow and simply create advertising videos that will later be sponsored, which you will use to promote your product. So let's get started. We're going to try to understand together how this workflow works. Here we go. So now we're going to start working with the first step. So step number 1 is where I'm simply going to send the photo of my product to the system. So here, thanks to this step, we're actually going to retrieve the photo, and most importantly, we're going to send it to Google Drive. So here I've created a small Google Drive folder where I'm going to save all my created images, all the images sent, and especially the videos that I'm going to generate. This is for backup and record keeping purposes. because for me it's very important to create a Google Drive file. Every time I perform an operation, a whole row will be created where I'll put the information for each step. And this especially helps me to see the status. Have I created the ad? Have I published it or not? So this allows me to keep track of all the operations I'm going to do. So the first step we're going to start with today is to launch and request the sending of the information. So I send the information using Telegram. I chose Telegram because it's the simplest. But be careful here. With Telegram, we're going to send some information along with the photo. Here is the information I want to send with the photo. I'm going to provide a description of the visual, a text that I want to be written on the image. Also, I want to provide a scenario for the video I want to create and the type of music. So it's going to be like, for example, here, where I will give as much information as possible about my product. And you'll see this will really help me a lot to properly launch the video. Don't forget that our system also involves sending the photo that will be created and then the video to social media. So as a result, there will be steps that we'll look at later on, like here, for example, publishing. That's why even in my Google Sheets document, I've actually created an entire sheet here where I'll put the basic information about my offer, including the website, the description, the product, everything. All of this will be used, and I only have to do it once in my Google Sheets. And you'll see that it's going to be synchronized with my workflow. So the first thing to do now is that I'd actually like to run this step up to this part, up to node number 4. So I'm going to right click and ask it to run up to here, because when I run my system up to this point, I'll be able to see the progress of the information. Otherwise, of course, I can go node by node, executing them one by one to show you how the information flows. All right, let's go. First, we're going to try taking a photo of the product we're going to test, and then we'll move on to Telegram to see how the mechanism works. So now I'm going to come here and we'll run the entire first part. We're going to ask the system to run up to this point. So we click on execute step. And now it's waiting for me to send the photo on Telegram. Here, I'm taking a photo of my computer and I'm going to upload it here in Telegram. And now I'm going to add a description. Remember that we need to provide a description that includes 4 important pieces of information. The information needs to be sent in this structure. By separating each piece of information with a semicolon, the description, the text to write on the photo, the video with the scenario, how I'm going to view the scenario, and some information about the audio. So of course I asked ChatGPT to write out these 4 pieces of information for me. So here on my system, we're going to send it to Telegram and copy paste the information here. This is more or less the scenario I have in mind for this photo so that I can use it as an advertisement video. So now I'm sending the information. There you go, it has been sent to Telegram and now it has just been saved to Google Drive. And especially here, I added a little code to actually split the text into 4 separate pieces of information. As you can see here, the image description, the text to write on the image, the video scenario, and the music that I suggest. So up to this point, we've been able to send our photo to our workflow, and the photo has been sent along with the information. The next step, which is very important, is step number 2. So here in this step, what is our goal? It's that we're going to try to use Nono-Banana so that I can generate a photo. But for Nono-Banana to be able to create the photo, we'll actually need a specific plan created here by our agent Y so that it can send it to Nono-Banana. And Nono-Banana, of course, will generate it so that I can simply download it here. So a quick overview here of the image generation, or rather the print on the image. Of course, everything that's failing you'll find in the documentation, but especially here, we're going to instruct it to actually create a GD zone file for me, or rather, let's say the prompt will be in JSON format, which will contain the exact information to be sent to Nono-Banana. Nono-Banana, of course, needs to receive a certain amount of specific information so that it can process the image for me to make it more professional. So at this point, we can simply ask it to execute here. There you go. So we're going to execute this step. So as a result, it will do what's necessary to generate the print on the image for me. In the meantime, we'll need to call on Nono-Banana, and this time we're going to use the tool called FOL. This is a very powerful tool, an intermediary, let's say, a third party, where you can connect a huge number of applications. So you just need to come here, type in Nono-Banana, and you'll find the Nono-Banana models. So we have the model that transforms one image into another image. There are some that start from text to generate an image. So for me, I choose image to image. You'll see here's an example. For instance, it takes two images here and can generate a third image for me. That's the strength of the system, all while following a prompt, of course. So in our case, we're going to enter a prompt and use just one image. The goal is to get this result. So using this tool here called FOL, we were able to set up the entire API. So in this system, we have the whole prompt, the API, the connection that actually allowed me to work with the system and successfully generate an image. So now we're going to execute the image creation. Of course, we need some waiting time because when the image is being generated here, naturally, we'll have to wait until the image is finished. If I go into the log or the history, you'll see that here, I have this image that has just been generated. So we can keep going with the system. So now I'm going back to my tool and I can actually ask it to download, basically to download our image. So I ask it to execute instead. We can run the workflow. There you go. The image has just been downloaded here. So this is the URL of the image that was processed with Nono-Banana. So this is my image. So we started with a simpler image. And this one, and we ended up with this image here with the text as we requested actually written on the image. The next step, which is a very important one, this time we simply need to send this image to social media. So this is a very important step. It will allow me to further work on the image and make the post that I want. So that's the goal. So this is step 3. This is the step where we publish our image on social media. And so here we simply need to create the caption, because the caption is basically the text that will be published along with the photo. So here I simply call on OpenAI and I ask it to suggest a high quality caption that will simply be published with the image. I give it all the context, the title, the information related to this image, and so the system will simply return to me, you'll see. So I re-execute this step, it will return a description to publish with the image. Now, the node that will help me make the publication is this one. It's called Upload Post. I find it here. It's simple. You just have to type Upload Post and there it is. So it's one that's verified with n8n. You will find the verification badge. Normally, if it's the first time you're going to use it, you'll find a small button here called Install. You click it and it gets installed with a single click. So, for me to be able to run it, you should know that this system is capable of publishing either an image, a video, or text. That means text like a post on LinkedIn, just text, which will be scheduled automatically. If I want to combine text and photos, I choose this first option. If I want to combine text and video, I select this option here. So, to simply use and take advantage of Upload Post, you just need to create an account on their website. What I find very interesting is that on their site, with the free trial, it still allows me to test this tool and see how effective it is. You'll see that it's really simple, and I can create a free account without entering any credit card information, and this will actually give me the ability to make 10 posts per month. That can be very interesting for testing and seeing if this tool meets my needs or not. So today, at the time of recording this video, this tool is able to send to all these social networks. I think it has all the current platforms available today. And afterwards, all I'll need to do is simply create the account and retrieve what's called my API. If I come back here, you'll see that to create what's called the credential, the connection, I'll just need to do a quick copy paste and install my API here. So how do I retrieve this API? You just need to go to the back office and you'll find here that there's the API key. So I click here and there it is. That's my API. Of course, I can click here to copy it. Once it's copied, obviously I can come back here and paste it into my client right here in this spot. Once it's pasted, you'll see that it will tell you the connection was successful. So now what do we need to do next? We'll just need to meticulously program this particular API and carefully set up this specific node so that I can effectively publish to my various social networks. Here, I'll need to pass the information from here to there so that I can post the photo along with the text. You'll see that here in the system, I specify what the operation is. It's an upload operation, or it could be a video or text. If it's a photo, I let it select the photo. And here, I'll simply enter the user's name. Why is the user's name important? Quite simply, in our system, several people can work with the Upload Post API. For example, I sometimes create multiple Instagram pages, a personal page, another professional page, and even on the professional side, I might have 2 or 3 pages depending on my company's activities. So what's really interesting here is that I can actually create several profiles, and in each profile I'll add the social networks that go with it. So this profile, well, for me, I've created a profile called Dr. Ferris, and you'll see that here I can connect the social networks that work with it. Of course, here I've connected a few test networks just to see how it works. I can of course add quotation marks, I can add and edit, and in the case of Pinterest, I can add at any time. So for you, all you need to do is select the network you're interested in and connect it. The connection simply means that you're giving permission for this tool to post on that network. It's a very secure way, so it won't have access to your passwords. It will only have permission to post your content. I can of course work with the schedule option. You'll see that here too we can have it on the node, and this option allows you to schedule your posts on all your networks. So I'll start here by doing a first test. I'll go to, well, let's say, and here I can select several networks. For example, here I can tell it, listen, I want you to add post 6 on Facebook. I want you to add it on LinkedIn, TikTok, etc. So I have the option to select the different posts I want. Each time I add one, you'll see that it gives me specific information related to the post and the platform I've added. Imagine I add TikTok, you'll see that it gives me even more information specific to TikTok. As I select the network I'm interested in, it will keep offering me information that's specific to that network. So to keep it simple here, I'm going to post on Instagram and Twitter. What I'll need is to add what's called a main title for my post. And so for this title, I'll just take the text that was added by the user. Of course, I won't really need this information because on Instagram and on X, what matters most to me is the caption, the description. Remember that this caption was just generated by the last node, which is the artificial intelligence agent AI that created this text for me. And the photo, remember we also downloaded the photo here once it was created on Nono-Banana. So now for me the network is ready to be published. All that's left to do quite simply is to click on run this step to see how Upload Post can easily publish photos, videos if I want, to my connected social networks. Let's go. I click here to execute. Now it's looking for the connection with the Upload Post tool. I'm targeting Instagram and I'm targeting the X network. Let's see if the result will be displayed with the status. Here it tells me the status and the success, so true. Here we have the information that has just been displayed here. It tells me that it was successfully published on Instagram. And on the X network, it even gives me the post ID. It also gives me a link to go directly to the post. So let's try to check that together. So now we're going to open it and actually access this link. And there you go, I can see that the photo with the description and hashtags has just been properly posted. We'll do the same thing and check here on the X network. So we'll ask it to display that for us as well. And here is the post. There you go, so it's been properly published, yes. So really the way you can use this tool is very simple, very fast, and the result is really, really interesting. So as we said, what's very important is that you first need to connect these networks in order to use it properly. The options here are very standard options that change depending on the network you've selected. For example, here it asks me for Instagram, do you want it to be sent to stories or to reels? So as a result, I can actually set up specific scheduling for these types of posts. So once we've finished this part, we move on to the fourth section. Here we're going to call it Seedance. Here, what is this tool going to help us do? Simply transform the image into a video and then retrieve that video so we can add to it a piece of music afterwards in order to have a complete video.